Hi guys, in this episode of Shri series, we're gonna be talking about how to calculate the midpoint of two pairs of coordinates, alright? So before we get into the two questions here, let me give you a bit of an explanation so in that way you get a rough idea on how to work out midpoints, which will give us the confidence to answer both questions A and B, alright? So let me just draw a simple sketch. That's your y-intercept and that's your x-intercept. Now suppose we have 2 points, let's say A comma B. All right, now let's draw a straight line there and let's assume that the coordinate for A is x1 and y1, and let's assume the coordinates for B is x2 and y2, and we want to find the midpoint. All right, so we have coordinates for A x1 y1 and we have the coordinates of B x2 and y2, and we want to find the midpoint. So the midpoint basically means it is halfway between the distance A and B, and that's literally what the midpoint means. All right, so the midpoint is the distance between 2 points at half level. All right, it's half the distance between 2 points A and B. All right, so generally from this explanation, a lot of students gain a fair idea and understanding of how to calculate the midpoint. So the first thing we need to do is write down the formula. So if you see here, the midpoint is x1 plus x2 divided by 2 and y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Why are we dividing it by 2? Because I mentioned before, the midpoint is half the distance between x and y coordinates. All right, so that's why. So the magic number is add the respective x values, divide by 2, and add the respective y values and divide it by 2. All right, so that's what midpoint means, as simple as that. So let's look at question A. We've got 2 points, 2, 3 and 4, 7. All right, so ideally you could draw and locate where 2, 3 is and 4, 7, and then the midpoint is the distance halfway through that. All right, now I've already demonstrated this diagram here for you, so we'll just jump straight into the question. So the first thing we need to do, like I mentioned before, it is great practice in maths, in solving maths questions, in writing down the appropriate formula. All right, so the formula for the midpoint is x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. All right, so that's the formula you write down. So if you see here what we've got in this situation, we put that as x1 and y1, and we put that as x2 and y2. All right, so literally what we've done is we've put the respective x and y coordinates, x1, y1, x2 and y2. So if you look at the diagram, or should I say the numbers carefully, x1 is 2 and x2 is 4, y1's 3 and y2 is 7. And what we literally need to do is add the respective x values, divide by 2, add the respective y values and divide it by 2. It's as simple as that. So what do we do there? So we go 2 plus 4 divided by 2 and 3 plus 7 divided by 2. That's literally what we're doing there. Now 2 plus 4 is 6, and 6 divided by 2, we can write it down like this as well. And 3 plus 7 is 10 divided by 2. So I'm just showing my full working out. 6 divided by 2 is 3 and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So in other words, the midpoint is 3, 5. That's how you work that out. So what do? The first thing we need to do is write the formula: x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2, and then put the numbers. All right, you can put that as x1 and put that as y1, put that as x2 and y2, add the numbers: 2 plus 4 divided by 2 and 3 plus 7 divided by 2, and you will get 3, 5. All right, now I wanted to put question B, because it's got negative numbers. And just remember, midpoints need not be only positive. You could also get negative numbers. All right. So same thing. What do we do? Write the formula x1 plus x2 divided by 2 and y1 plus y2 divided by 2. All right. And then we allocate. That's x1, that's y1, that's x2, and that's y2. All right, and then we substitute. So x1 is -2 and x2 is -6. y1 is -7 and y2 is -9. So we now need to substitute. So that's going to be -2 plus -6 divided by 2 and -7 plus -9 divided by 2. So you can see when you've got too many negative numbers, that can be absolutely confusing. But to avoid that, use the power of brackets. Put the brackets in between to show that that -6 is this one here and that -7 is that one here. All right. So -2 plus -6, that now becomes -8 divided by 2, and -7 plus -9 is -16 divided by 2. So literally what we've done is we've used our basic knowledge of integers to solve this question. Now, -8 over 2 is -4, and -16 divided by 2 is -8. So in this case, our midpoint is a negative pair, -4, -8. What have we done? All we've simply done is write the formula, substitute what x1, x2, and y1, y2 are, divided by 2. All right. So to answer these questions, particularly finding the midpoint, what do we need to do? We need to write the appropriate formula. We need to substitute the numbers. And most importantly, work out. All right. I always encourage students to have a basic understanding of integers, because if you don't understand integers, like adding these numbers, positive and negative numbers, then this question becomes hard. In the next series of videos, I'm going to be talking about calculating the distance between two pair of points. Thanks for listening, guys. Stay tuned for more videos. Bye now.